Alright, what's up everyone? It's Doldberg. Today we're gonna speak about the DYP, the foster care family, and all the dark side behind it. When I was young, I've been into foster care, so I am the best to speak about the reality of the subject, about how men are mistreated into foster family in Canada. So, let's start straight with it. There's the DYP, that weird organization. If a parent do trouble to the children, I totally understand that the DYP come and take the kid. All right, but listen, the weed was not legal when I was young, and it's legal now. And I was taking weed. When I was taking weed, my eye was sometimes going cross-eyed, and my mother was calling me. Like there's a kind of bird with the eye cross-eyed, and she was always calling me that name of bird. And then one day, like she called me like that. She told me that it don't look good for her when I have the eyes like that, and she wanted a girl when she got me. So what I did at this moment, I took the tree because it was Christmas. I took the tree, I bring it outside, I destroy it with the baseball bat, and then I run downstairs. My room was downstairs, and I jump into the wall face first like that, and I do a big hole into the wall, and I fall in my bed like that. And then my mom come on top of me and three big smack, and then they go call the police and they come take me. So at this moment, the DYP come in my life, and um, my mom was lying. Like my mom was the type to lose a fork and say, "A fork got stolen," and then bro, and like there was just no limit behind that. It was just non-stop. So at the end, it was pretty hard to have a good relationship between us. I was a young kid with a lot of energy, and like I got oppressed a lot in my life, so I was not willing to be oppressed anymore. So I was really reactive, like no stop and responding. I still can say that I never treated my mother by any bad name. I never hit my mother, or I never harmed my mother by any way. All right, but she did hit me in the face like that after I hit myself into a wall, and she treated me with the name of the bird and shit like that. So yeah, so this is my story how I get into the DYP system, and then after a while I was not willing to stop weed. I was not willing to do the stuff they was asking me to school because I was destroyed by the inside. I can't. If you ask me question, I'm a reply to anything you want to explain the story. But I got destroyed when I was young, and I was not willing to be destroyed anymore. So I was really reactive to the stuff. It just makes sense like that. All right. So then the DYP people start coming at the house, tell my mother, oh, we have a solution for you. We're gonna take your kid, we're gonna put it in foster care. You're not gonna have trouble anymore, na na na. So they take me, they send me in foster care. There was only two foster care for guy in my city, but there was like six foster care for women because the feminists push so much into the help for women that all the family foster family are already taken, and you cannot go there. It's woman foster care family, and that's it. You cannot go there because you're a guy. There's only two in my city that had this place, and it was one space. So I go into the first one. I act really good with the dude, never lack respect or anything. I respect the dude, and he kicked. I'ma explain how he kicked me out, and after I'ma explain all the relationship inside this house. Okay, so at one point I was playing with the Aki ball in my hand, just a ball in my hand, and then I put it on the table, and then I start eating my food. all right? And then I had another kid with me into the foster care. He take my ball, and start doing that. So the guys after a moment say stop playing with the ball, and then the dude he keep playing with the ball, and then the dude take the ball and go into put it into his room and say you're never gonna see that ball again. And I was, for me it was my only ball. It was the only thing I had in my life because I was in foster care, and this ball was the most important thing for me. So I go in his room and I go take me his ball, and with the idea of going out of the room real quick. But listen, when I get into the room, all right, when I get into the room, I tried to go outside, but he come in my face and take me like that. The dude was almost 200 pounds. He was 50 years old, and he did all his life in the army. And I was like 13 years old, probably 130 pounds wet. So he started pushing me like that, and then he pulled me on a table and bang into the face. And at this moment, I'm always being like the bad boy, so I did not know how to reply. I know if I was hitting him, I was going in jail. So all I did was spit in his face. And then after I spit in his face, he tried to call the cops. So me and the other guy in the foster family, we run around with the telephone and shit. And then after a long time, we called the police by himself. And when the police came, listen. They say, I go into this room without the permission, so I was illegal. He hit me, but I was into his room, so he was supposed to have the right to hit me. And then I spit into his face, so it's like if I was attacking him too. So the police did not even try to help the kid. They defend the foster family, and they send me into temporary jail during 5 days till they bring me into the other foster family, because there was only 2 foster family in Three Rivers. All right. So let's explain that first family that I just get kicked out. What was happening into it? All right. So the meal was ground beef with powdered potato and brown sauce, and we was eating that twice per day minimum. And then we had some grilled cheese for the other meal, and sometime he was bringing something like a can of soup, chunky soup, all type of cheap shit. Like the dude, that dude had a foster family because he wanted to do money with the kid. He did not add the foster family just to have kid and take care of them. He had the foster family only to take money from them. So that dude never buy me anything, not a single piece of clothing. Just take the money, never feel me good. When he was going outside, the dude at 50 years old, he was gaining money, he did not have to work, so he was going outside every day. When he was going outside, I had to get out of the house because I had no right to stay in the house when he was outside. And I had to wait outside of the house till he come back. I never complained once. Never complained, and I did it like a boss, and he still kicked me like a trash at the end, and I respect that dude a lot at the moment before he did that. All right. So sometime -30 outside, kid get out. I'm coming back in 4 hours. Let us during 4 hours outside with nothing to do into the cold. It was into the middle of the city, somewhere where you have like no place to hide. You're a kid, so wherever you go, you've seen like a nuisance, so you cannot go in any building, kinda, and you're just left there into the cold. And yeah, at least he was pulling the other kid of the foster family out, so I had 1 or 2 other guy with me, and we was just waiting in the cold together. So yeah, the dude was using those kids just to gain that money. The room was really small, really basic. uh, the stuff into the room was coming from the place for poor people. Like he was buying the item, like the bed, uh, and all that shit. He was buying it at the place for poor people, so it was costing almost nothing for him. So he was doing good money out of that. Um, Yeah, so that dude was not really respectful. We had to listen to him, and we was in foster family. It was that or the jail, so we was not really complaining. There's only that time that the dude played with the ball, and this dude fucking hit me, like if we was some fucking bad guy. And we, me and that other dude stay like what almost 1 year there, and we never did almost nothing wrong. And then he react like this. That dude had a problem inside himself. And when I was 30 years old, I came back to see him, and I told him the truth, what I think about. And I can tell you, he was fucking scared, and he was saying sorry, sorry. And yeah, man, like he was now 70 years old. Imagine the dude. Man, he was shaking in front of his wife, and like he had a new woman in his life. When I knew him, he had no woman in his life because the dude is an asshole kinda. So he don't have a woman in his life, and no woman gonna feed kid with fucking powder potato during a year, alright? So I go see that dude, and when I see the woman inside the house, I just on purpose, he was giving us powder potato. And I make sure that the girl was disgusted out of him, and then I quit. So yeah, foster family. This is my first foster family. I got sent there, and it was really bad. Uh, the way I got treated, the stuff I eat, I would not give that to my worst enemy. It was not good food. It was bad. All right. So then they take me, send me into jail, ultra closed jail, where it's just a temporary jail, so it's like the worst place into the prison. All right, so I stayed there 5 days. Most of the people stayed there 3 days, but it was long to prepare the room, so I stayed in that jail during 5 days. Every day I had to get almost naked, so they was looking if I had drug on me, even if I was not going outside, all that shit. So yeah. Okay, so the second foster care, it was worst. All right. Uh, that foster care was kind of dirty a bit, but just okay. So the system, the government was accepting them in foster care. It was just borderline. The meal into that foster care was some grilled cheese, and it was twice per day grilled cheese, and then it was giving us like pasta meal and shit like that. Yeah, mostly pasta meal. But I remember that food was so bad. I was working 50 hours per week at this moment. Yes, I was in foster care. My parent was treating me like shit, but I was working 50 hours per week for my uncle. So, um, I started buying myself food for sure. Like I will not eat that food. I was eating some grilled cheese and here and that powder juice. They had powder juice. They don't give us real juice. Sometimes they was get listen. This is one of the worst part. All right. While they was getting delivery from pizza, the foster care kid was eating normal food. Like you give canned food to your foster kid while you take a pizza from delivery. This is just nonsense. For me, I would never do that to a kid. All right. The bed I was sleeping on had a big angle like that. It was an old bed, maybe 25 years old bed, and I was working for 50 hours per week. It was into I was doing outside construction. I was young, so it was not complex, but I was helping the people doing construction, planting tree, building wall, and I was lifting a lot of weight and cutting a lot of stone with saw. So I had a lot of powder in my nose, a lot of dirt. I was waking up like I had to get there like 5 a.m. and shit. I was working hard and to give me that bed like that. So uh, there was that bed in that room, and I started to complain about that bed because I had a hard time to sleep. And uh, I told them, because they was not willing to change the bed, I told them I want a new bed. And they told me no. They told me, yes, we're gonna buy you a new bed in like a couple weeks. Okay, a month after, I don't have a bed. So I'm there. Okay, can I buy myself a bed? No, we're gonna put you a bed soon. So I keep waiting. After like 1 month and a half, 2 months, there was still no new bed in there. So one day before going to work, I take the bed and I threw it outside. Like I was in the store, I bring it downstairs, and I threw everything outside. And when I was coming back from work, I was going to fucking buy a bed and put it there. But guess what? When I come back, my bed is back there, and they kick me out of the foster care because I complain about what they give to me. All right. So this is just a small part of the problem. They put me into a room with the guy. The guy was taking hard drug, and that dude was scratching in face and paranoying when he was on drug. And if I was falling asleep uh, in the same room as him, he was starting to paranoid and waking me up. All right. The dude was selling drugs, so when he was like, take pills, you have to stay awake, I'm gonna paranoid. So I was working 50 hours per week, I was not able to have a good sleep, and my bed was bad. All this at the same time. My food was bad. Listen, my food was so bad, and I had so much bad example in my life that most of the time, what my meal that I was bringing myself to work was a standard bread with Nutella and butter, peanut butter, and I was just doing peanut butter, Nutella, bread, and water. It was my meal almost every time I was working outside. I did not know anything else, and I was not even able to use the cooking area like I want to in that place, because they don't want you to use the cooking area. The cooking area belong to them, and you're just a foster kid. Yeah, you don't have the right to touch to that cooking area. So yeah, after a moment, I threw my bed outside, and guess what? Bed is back inside. When the bed is back inside, well, they kick me out because I'm complaining about my bed. And then guess what? There's no more foster care in my city, and my parents don't want me to go outside of the city. I don't want to go outside of the city. I have a girlfriend in the city. So guess what? The only place left is the kids jail. So they put me 9 months in kids jail. 9 months. Hey, you can beat someone in the street, you're gonna get 3 months. Giving 9 months to someone on the first time you go in jail, I think it's kind of crazy, and no one, it's not made for anyone. It's the worst thing you can do to a children if you want to break his mind. Around 16 years old, it took me I did 9 months in kids jail. It took me around 8 months to be able to see a psychologue, someone who work on the brain in there. And after talking to me, it only took like 3 weeks, and that psychologue tell them, yes, Jonathan is a part of the problem, but his parents are a part of the problem too, and 50-50. So at this point, I was like, no way, I'm not the problem. Like, the adult in my life always convinced me, you are the problem, you are the problem, you did that, you did that. But I never take in my head before this time the aspect that my parent could be the problem. And this is at this moment on my life when the kids jail tell me, you're not the problem. I did no problem in kids jail. Oh yeah, I did a problem. Listen to that. I had a girlfriend in kids jail. Someone gave it or pills when I was inside. I had no power to control. The dude made her turn bad, and she started to get destroyed because I cannot protect her, and I don't have a father in his life, so she lack of male attention, and at a certain moment I ran away from the prison just to go beat someone. but I got because I wanted to beat that dude because he was giving pills to that woman I love, right? But when I was going for there, I stopped into one of my best friend house at this moment, and he told me, no, calm down, you're not gonna do that, go in jail. No, no, no. So I came back there, and yeah, I did not have too much problem for that because everyone into the kids jail knew my problem at this moment. I was crying, I was freaking out. My woman was getting tricked by another man, and it was dirty as fuck, man. It was driving me crazy, and this was the only thing I did bad in there. And I think the people into the kids jail really understand me at this moment and understand that I'm not a problem kid. So yeah, they put me out at 16 years old of that kid jail, and because I managed to prove that I am autonomous enough to live by myself into apartment. And I have to debate during all my life between 12 years old to 16 years old to manage to prove to them that finally I don't have any fucking problem and I need and get me out of there and put me into apartment. So yeah, this is my experience on kids foster family, like the temporary foster family. Uh, and you can say what you think about that. For me, it's like mostly a negative experience. And if I was coming back and see them in the street, I would take them like that. Bro, why you did it to me? And I would had hard time to not do it. Like why for sure. So recently, I started to think. I think I'm gonna go into the DYP, ask all my paper, like review all that shit, and maybe put a lawyer into this case, cause it just make no sense the food they was giving to me and all that shit. And do you guys think I should go and take all that information and try to see it again and try to solve that shit, or I'm better to just take it and put it into the past, like if it never happened, and try to like forget it into a negative way? Like maybe it's not negative, maybe I'm doing it wrong, but you see, in therapy, there's something that they call you need to meet your inner children. And taking care of your inner children is to exactly do that, is to go in your past and solve some of those things into your head, make them turn into more positive and see the reality of what really happened to you. Because my memory during a long time was broken. I had a hard time to remember the shit around me, but now my memory is clean, clean, clean. And this is exactly because I meet my inner child, and now I have access to all those memory that was buried all inside of me. So do you guys think it really worth it to rebury everything inside of me and lose that inner children? This is weird. So yeah, for me, the foster care family long term, if you adopt a child, it's one of the best things you can do in the world. There's so many wrong women that sleep everywhere and put some child everywhere. You need to sell children. You need to do it. But if a child just smoke weed and his parents are not happy about it, just do nothing about it, bro. Like, it just make no fucking sense. The short-term foster family for the problem kid is one of the worst thing that can exist in Canada. It destroys all the family, and you see the education system is like a wheel, and we push it and it roll, and if you're not made to be into that wheel, you're just gonna get crushed by it. And if you want your kid to get crushed, just send them into that wheel and see if they're gonna get out. Maybe they're gonna get out of that wheel, they're gonna manage to turn into it. Maybe they're gonna get crushed by that wheel too. Do you want to show to your kid what's life, or do you want the life to show to your kid trauma? So yeah, this video start to be a bit long. I can keep speaking about the subject. My brain is it just keep going, keep going, keep going, and it's pretty hard for me to stop at this point. But take a big deep breath, calm down, and positive minded. Think about the positive. Don't forget the negative in your past, but use it to move to not do what they did for sure. You have to make sure you don't act with your scar. If you are scared of dog, don't show to the other people that to be scared of dog. Like acting with your scar is something bad. But remembering the reality is something important. And the foster care in Canada is one of the worst fucking systems in the world for children. Peace out.